Hold up.
Hello, and welcome to the Say Yes Movement podcast with Heather and John, where we help you with your professional and personal growth. Good morning, Heather. How are you doing today?
Good morning, John. I'm so glad to see that you're safe because just moments ago you told me you were in an Uber and you're driving. So, anyways, the show must go on. So you made it
Yeah.
happen. I love that. John,
Listen,
it
yeah,
is Celebration Friday. So tell me,
that's right.
what are you celebrating other than that you're safe somewhere right now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Listen, it was a bit of a harrowing experience getting here, but I am here. I'm actually at a different spot today. I just got off a plane just about an hour and a half ago, so I am sitting in a dealership waiting for my vehicle. So uh, things don't always go according to plan, but I'm so happy and glad to be here with all of you. Listen, this week's celebration has been my commitment to the things that I do. And what I mean by that, being here on the show with you. Also, one of the things I also got to do this week is one of the things I've been doing as part of my 30-day reset is a weekly meditation calls on Wednesday. And I was delayed. My flight was delayed going up to Thunder Bay. And I ended up doing the meditation call from the airport, which was so cool. It was like everybody, I'm like, why are people looking at me? Maybe because my eyes are closed and I'm doing, a little chant and a noise in the airport. But you know what? It doesn't matter because I am committed. I am going to follow through. I'm going to be consistent and I'm celebrating that because there's nothing going to stop me from doing the things that I want to do no matter where I am. So that's what I'm celebrating, Heather. What are you celebrating today?
I love that. This week has been a week of closing some loops on decisions that needed to be made. And sometimes when you're sitting with a decision too long, you end up circling, and just these open loops happen. And so this week I closed quite a few of those open loops, and quite frankly, I don't even know why I had left them open for so long, but some really good stuff to look forward to in the future. So I now am confirmed and committed to going to Papua New Guinea in March, which is going to be quite a big, big trip that I got to start training for. So I'm excited about that. And then some other little tiny decisions got closed. If you have open loops in your life, you have no idea how much mental capacity that's stealing from your brain. And so as soon as those loops were closed, I was like, wow, I feel lighter. I feel free. I feel like that's now something to look forward to as opposed to holding me back. So this week I am celebrating making decisions, taking action, and moving forward. That is things to celebrate. Fantastic. So John,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
so tell me what's been coming up for you this week, because I've got a couple things that have been percolating and ideas, and I'd love to hear what's been going on in your week.
Yeah, no, listen, this week has really been tying back to just holding the vision that you have for yourself. We're almost at the midpoint way in the year, which means it's almost my birthday too, which is coming up next week.
Yes.
Um, it's an opportunity to just hold on to, are you still committed to your vision? Are you still committed to the things that you said you were going to do at the beginning of the year? And, and I talk about consistency. That was part of my win for this week, my celebration. But it's consistency in my vision of who it is I want to be this year, right? I know we both
Mm.
set that vision early on that we were going to impact 1 million people. And I'm still committed to that no matter what. So whether it's being in an airport, being in a car dealership, being in an Uber that missed its exit, we are here. I'm going to be committed to it and really going back. Like, do you even know what your goal is for 2024? Did you forget? And I did a little survey a couple of weeks ago, and only 30% of the people that actually answered the survey, which was about 25 people, only 25% knew what their goal was for 2024. And this may
Whoa,
be
that's
that opportunity. I know it's so low, right? Like, what's your
so
goal for
low.
2024? 70% of people don't remember anymore. And, holding on to vision, right? Holding on to that thing that's going to propel you forward. And nothing can stop you from delivering on that vision. And that's what I'm doing here, right? I'm no matter where I am, I'm going to commit. I'm going to get this done. And when I commit to a project, when I commit to a group, I'm following through. And, that's the one thing. Even my coach asked me this week, what's your vision? What do you want to do? And it all comes back to just, how do I create more impact? How do I create more of what I want in the world? And it's just remembering what that is. Heather, what's been showing up for you this week?
I love that idea of vision, John. And for those of you that are thinking right now, well, I don't know what my vision is either, or I've lost track. That's okay, because today is day one and every day is day one. In fact, if you take it down into daily incremental actions, it doesn't seem overwhelming. It doesn't seem like too much. It seems like something you can accomplish. And, we are always talking about journaling, writing down what did you accomplish for the day that works towards your goal. And because both me and John want to make an impact, that's what we actually journal about. We journal about how many people did we impact today. And every day I have a non-negotiable to impact at least 5 people. And sometimes the 5th person is myself, because I'm doing self-care, because I'm doing the things that I want to do. So, I get to count in that 5 people number as well. Of course, I usually over exceed that, but that's because I'm an overachiever. But at least 5 has to happen every single day. Now, I want to do a shout out to our audience. Remember, this is Celebration Friday. So if you have something to celebrate, we want to celebrate with you. Tell us what you celebrated in the comments. Tell us what's coming up for you. And tell us if you are going to start a day one new goal that will help you finish off the year strong and be the best version of you. So in the comments, we want to celebrate with you. Share, share, share. John, I had someone share a question with me this week. And it really, it was like, oh, that feels like something to journal about. And I wanted to share it with everyone. And the question is and John and anybody else listening, this is for us to answer together. And the question is this: what is something you would be proud to fail at if you had the courage to attempt it? What is something you would be proud to fail at? And think about that. When are we proud to fail? It's just a whole twist on the mindset of failing fast and trying things new and putting ourselves out there. So, John, does anything come up for you as I ask that question?
Yeah, you're twisting at the heartstrings. It's like, oh, do I really want to answer this? Yeah, listen, failing fast is good. At least you're trying something. One of the things I have as a vision is to get up in front of 10,000 people this year, right? Like that's part of the goal that I'm holding on to be on stage in front of 10,000 people, sharing a message, a really powerful message. And I'm okay at failing at that. If I get to a stage of 5,000 people, not necessarily 10,000, I'm totally okay with it. Or even hosting my own weekend retreat, which is something I've been playing around with in my head for the last little bit. And it's okay if it doesn't necessarily go to plan. And sometimes things don't, kind of work out the way you want them to. But you're learning throughout the process. We talk about the how not being in any of the business. And, I'm pretty good at letting go of the how piece. But yeah, when I think about the big things, go so big that it scares you, and all these things scare me. All these things scare me, believe it or not. But I know that if I get there and on the other side of it, because I'm using my vision, I'm stepping into my future self as that person who's delivering that talk in front of 10,000 people, making everybody go, they make them go wild and crazy. It's just, wow. Like,
Wow.
Heather, that's a tough question. Man, you're making me think this morning. Come on, it's Friday. It's like 8 o'clock. What's wrong with you?
I love it. I love it. And I this question hit me like that too. It's like the society has a vision of failure, and so we try to avoid it. We don't go there. And in fact, if we go there, that means we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. We're inviting change. We're inviting, resistance to show up and then get through that. And that builds our muscle of change, our muscle of improvement, our muscle of being the best version of ourselves. And for me, John, I think the one that I am already most proud of and will continue to be proud, even if we fail, is this goal of of impacting 1 million people on our podcast. I remember our origin story. We said we'll do 5 episodes, and then we just continued down that path. And each week, each month, I just see the downloads of our podcast going up and up and up. And I'm like, whoa, we might actually hit this 1 million point. And then what's the goal? And so that's the exciting part. It's like, well, when I get there, then what's next? And that vision of what's next is just so important. Yeah, listen, I see we've got some people that we need to celebrate. John, what's going on in the comments
Yeah,
here?
Blaze has said, I downloaded a habit tracker, added 3 small things to start, and have met each target all week.
Fantastic, Blaze. That's
Also writing
awesome.
down one daily positive celebration. Oh, I love that. One daily positive celebration, find that good point in the day. Listen, that's a note that I also took from my good friend Gunjan. Celebrate every day. You don't have to wait till just Friday. You can do it every single day. I love it. And Nicole is celebrating consistency. So back in November of 2023, she had a goal to run daily, invest in her health, spiritual health, and personal development. It doesn't look the same every day, but I have been consistent and love how it's impacted me and those around me. Wow. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. The thing is, when we work on ourselves, we actually do impact the people around us because they're seeing that, right? Especially if you have little ones at home, if you have young adults in your household or young children, or even, nephews and nieces, they're all watching.
Yes.
They're all watching.
Well, John, keep going.
Go
No,
ahead.
keep going. No, go ahead.
No, you get to impact more than you, but you're working on you first. And this is what I love about tying back to vision, saying yes to that bigger vision of you. That bigger vision of you is impacting way more people than you even think possible. And as you're going through your day, your month, you're like, oh man, it's just whatever. It's just a 5-minute walk, a 10-minute walk. Oh, I'm just eating one healthy meal today. All those things are being watched. The people around you are noticing, and people in the 30-day reset program, they're losing weight. And people are coming up to them and saying, what's going on? Are you sick? Like, that's the first question people ask you as you get healthier and you start to release weight. It's like, are you okay? Because you look sick. You don't look like yourself. And people really start to notice. They start to notice the changes in you. And, they start to question whether or not that's for them. And that's where things can get scary, right? And this is sometimes where you get a little bit of that backlash from the people around you to say, well, why are you doing this? Well, because I know what my bigger vision is, right?
Yeah. Well, when we change, we invite people to change around us. But Blaze, Nicole, thank you for sharing this, because you're also impacting people that are wondering, what's that one thing that I should do that will help me move forward? And you guys both just named 2 things: being consistent in whatever it is, doing one daily action, and then Blaze, writing down one positive thing each day. And I want our audience members to understand this is a extremely powerful exercise. Our brains are wired to always solve a problem. And so when they're wired to solve a problem, guess what they do? They go looking, our brain goes looking for the problems to solve. And so when we can actually rewire it, redesign it to say, all right, brain, just take a back seat for a sec. What was the good things that happened today? What are the things that I want to celebrate? How do I bring gratitude into this moment into my life? And gratitude is the secret weapon to happiness. It's the secret weapon to bringing down our anxiety, bringing down our cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, bringing up our ability to see the world through a different lens. And so this act, Blaze, of writing down one positive thing to celebrate every single day is monumental in our mental health. And don't we all need that today and every single day? So Blaze, I commend you so much for that. Nicole, I commend you for running. No matter what it looks like, you're still out there doing it, and that consistency. And for all of those out there that are also doing the things that matter to you, this is what life is all about. We don't get a do-over. Every single day, it's a new day, and it's a new day one.
Yeah, no, you get to live every day. You only die once, right? The motto YOLO, you only live once. You get to live every day, and every day is a new opportunity to start all over again. And listen, I love Nicole and Blaze, what you're doing out there and just sharing the message. I know you too are creating impact on those around you, and in such a big way. So thank you for sharing that with us. It's so amazing to see what can happen when we actually step into the best versions of us, when we say yes to us, right? And this is what this podcast is. This is the whole purpose. I was trying to explain the podcast to somebody yesterday. They're like, "What do you mean you say yes?" And you say yes. When you say yes to the things that matter, you're saying no to the things that don't.
That's right.
And this is where it's so powerful, because you know what that vision is, you're going after that vision, you're saying yes to all the things that tie back to the vision. That's when you become the best version of you. And that means by saying yes to things that matter to you, you're saying no to things that don't. And sometimes it's those conversations that we drop off. Those things are no longer important to us. We don't have them anymore. And it's not like we're dropping people from our lives, but we're really being centered and focused on what it is we want, going back to vision. And the thing is, not everybody's going to align to vision, right? Not everybody's going to align to your vision of what you want for yourself. And that's okay. And I think, if there's another message I want to share with people today, be okay with just like letting people that don't tie back into your vision to fall off, right? Unless they're family, then that's different. It's a different conversation altogether.
Even there, look at the influence that, energy has on you. And when people aren't with you on a vision, when they're not supporting you, then they're actually taking your energy away. And you need all the energy possible, because when you're going through a change, when you're trying to do something that you've never done before, you're actually going against what your normal routines are. And so you can't have anybody stealing your energy. You need to have what I call a vision reset. And, when people sometimes they keep their visions really small because they don't want to fail and they don't tell anybody. And in fact, you want to do the opposite. You want to sing from the rooftops, because as soon as you have a vision that's so big that you want to move towards it as opposed to avoid it, what happens is people come in your life that help you get there, and you'll be shocked and amazed the strangers that will show up in your life that either have already done that path already, that have a story to tell you that will help teach you a lesson, or are going to help you along the way. And John, you have this happen to you over and over and over again. You have a version of your future self showing up. The name is even John in all of these cases. And this is because you are being really outrageously bold about
Yeah.
your vision. And so the universe is bringing you all kinds of clues and people, and it's just amazing to watch. But if you wouldn't have shared your vision so boldly, you wouldn't have the help you have today. You wouldn't have the clarity that you have today. And so I invite everyone, and this is probably the call to action, is not only do you want to do a vision reset, but who can you tell about your vision that is going to support you and love you through this process, so that you feel supported and you feel loved? That's our call to action. How many people can we tell?
Yeah. No, listen, I'm telling the world, and I keep meeting Johns 100%, and they all have the same haircut. So I know we're on the same path. That future version of John doesn't have a full head of hair, but that's totally okay.
I love it, John.
But listen, you're so right. The one thing we worry is, and there's two things I want to touch on before we wrap up. We don't think big because we're afraid that we might shine too bright, and that's okay. Like shine bright, shine bright. I think it was Michelle Obama that talked about shine your light, right? Be you in the biggest way possible. And you're absolutely right. I've seen it over and over. When I share that bigger vision, people say, don't share your goals, be humble. Don't tell the world, because, show the world what you can do. No, tell the world so they can help you get there faster, right? And I saw it last year. I saw it with, the Ironman training that I was doing, thinking about, who do I want to be, on May 29th, 2023. And it was the person that completed the Ironman.
Yeah.
And with that, people came out of the total strangers were supporting me, cheering me on. Some people called me and, giving me words of, affirmation, words of inspiration, words of motivation, things to just keep propelling me forward. And none of that would have happened if I didn't just share the vision.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, we hold our vision to ourselves because we're afraid of what people are going to think. Who cares what people think? We'll do it anyways. or join this podcast and we'll support you. We'll cheer you on, and we'll, pat you on the back as you're going through your process. That's what we're here for. This
Yep.
is the community that you're searching for. And that's, hopefully with Heather and I, we've created that for you. We've created that space where you can shine your light bright. I love your call to action, Heather. Really get, deep into your vision, reset your vision if you need to, but
Yep.
set it so you know where you're going. It's so beautiful.
Wow. John, like always, it's Celebration Fridays. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. It's a new day. It's a new vision. I'm going to journal about what would I also want to be so proud that I failed at because I had the courage to attempt it. That question is going to sit with me all weekend, and I hope it will sit with all of you. And I want to do a shout out because that actually question came from Shannon. So Shannon, if you're listening today, thank you for that question. And back to you, John.
Yeah, well, thank you, Heather, and thank you for that takeaway question for today. I'm going to have to sit with that because that's a tough one. So maybe I'll do it as I'm cycling on the road and processing it. Just wanted to thank everybody for listening to this episode of the Say Yes Movement podcast. Just remember, when you shift your mindset, you shift your life. Wishing you all a great one. Talk to you all soon. Take care.